What's up guys, Tyler here with TABFit, and today we are going to go over how to find your maintenance calories in order to put on weight, lose weight, or maintain weight, as well as be able to add that into your flexible dieting to incorporate your favorite foods and that all you enjoy and make it a little bit easier to diet. Now immediately people think of dieting as the worst thing in the world. Everyone hates dieting, and I'm one to agree with that. But I have made it significantly easier by adding in flexible dieting, kind of like part of the if it fits your macros aspects. Now, it's not strictly if it fits your macros, but it does follow that baseline with basically kind of incorporating your favorite foods into your diet. So in order to start that, you need to find your maintenance calories. So to find your maintenance calories, what you want to do is take a formula that I have found multiple different kinds. Now, the easiest one, they all kind of give you the same number too. So one of the easiest ones I've noticed has been taking your body weight, times it by 10, and then multiply that number by your activity multiplier. Now your activity multiplier is all dependent on your day-to-day activities. So say if you are a desk worker, you're working 8 to 5 job, and you're constantly sitting, you're stationary, then you're going to have a lot lower of a multiplier because you're not burning as many calories. So that would probably put you around a 1.3 or 1.4. And then you have someone who's like a construction worker who is constantly hauling heavy equipment, moving around all the time. They're burning out a lot more calories on a day-to-day basis. So they're going to be at a higher rate. So they're probably going to be around a 2.3 or 2.4. Now, for an example, let's give someone like me who weighs about 185 pounds. Take that by 10, you're putting me at about 1850. So take 1850 times my activity multiplier. Now, with my job, I'm not moving around a lot. I'm kind of stationary. So take that times it, let's say 1.6. That'll put me just above 2,900 calories. Now, at 2,900 calories, it's actually pretty close to my actual maintenance level. Over trial and error and a long amount of time, I've kind of figured out I'm around 2,200 to maintain my weight. So it's pretty close. If it's within that like 200 to 300 window, it's going to be pretty ideal for what you want. Now, to actually find your true maintenance level is going to be different. It's probably going to be different than the actual number that comes up on the formula, just because that's going to give you a generalization. Everybody's metabolism is a little different, so some people put on weight a lot easier than others. So that's where this kind of comes into play. This gives you that baseline number for trial and error. So to find your maintenance calorie with that number, what you're going to do is that will be your goal caloric intake for the week or for the day. And what you're going to do is for about 2 weeks, you're going to constantly hit that number and then weigh yourself every day. Right after you go in the bathroom, early in the morning, first thing you wake up. That way you don't drink any water, don't eat any food beforehand. That's going to give you the most accurate daily weight. Then you're going to take your average from the whole week and go with that. So say if you're 185 pounds and you end up at the end of the week at 185 pounds, then fantastic, that is your daily maintenance caloric intake. Now for the 2 weeks you're going to do that, you're going to want to do it another 2 weeks after, because a lot of you are not going to be used to dieting yet. You're going to be kind of getting into the shape of things, swing of things when it comes to getting into workouts, kind of tracking your food. So this is like your grace period of learning and your body adapting to it. Now the following 2 weeks are really going to be where it's going to tell you, because then your body's kind of adapted to that, the diet change and the caloric change, maintaining a constant caloric intake. So at the next 2 weeks, if you still maintain weight, then yeah, you have now found your true maintenance level. If you lose weight, you're going to have to add calories in order to find your maintenance level. And if you're gaining weight, you're going to have to subtract a little bit of calories to find your maintenance level. Now, this may take some time, guys. It's not a immediate thing. It is about a month at least of time to take, if not longer, because it took me about probably 2 or 3 months to actually find my true caloric intake, and I still don't know it down to a specific number. It's not going to be a specific number, guys. It's going to be a range, anywhere from, like I said, 100 to 200 calories, give or take. So figure that out, and then there you're good to go. Now, let's say you found your caloric intake and it's 2,500 calories. So if you're trying to lose weight, now you don't want to lower your calories too much to make sure that your metabolism stays at a pretty constant rate and you don't lose too much muscle. You're losing primarily fat. One good thing to look at is maybe about a pound or two a week. That will be a good number to kind of try to reach. makes it a little bit more accurate, helps you maintain that muscle mass that you're wanting to maintain. Now, say if you're trying to lose 1 pound a week, 3,500 calories is equivalent to 1 pound of fat. So if you're trying to burn 1 pound of fat a week, you're wanting to burn 3,500 calories. So what you could do is, now this is all without cardio, so this is before you start taking the deficit with cardio. Take that 3,500 calories and divide it by 7. So you're looking at 500 calories a day. That's how much you're going to need to subtract from your daily intake in order to make sure you're losing that pound a week. So say if you're at 2,500 calories, you'll subtract that 500 calories, and now you are at 2,000 calories a day. Now, and people would assume that you have to take that again in order to reach 2 pounds. Not necessarily true. You're gonna I would honestly add in a little bit more cardio than anything. That way you can start losing a little bit of calories, not as a dramatic amount. Because you don't want to, if you drop down to 1,500 calories, that's a pretty low number for most people to actually be at a baseline for trying to lose weight. Your metabolism does start slowing down quite a bit around that mark, to a little bit lower too. So that's how you find that. Now, when it comes to putting on weight, trying to add muscle, you don't want to add 500 calories. That's a little excessive. You're going to probably want to go up 100, 200 calories at a time, because you're trying to maintain your weight. You're trying to add a little bit of weight, but you're trying to maintain or decrease your fat. So you don't want to put on more fat, you want to put on more muscle. You want that weight to be quality, not just a little bit of extra fat. So add 100 to 200 calories at a time instead of doing that 500 calorie deficit or surplus. So from that point on, now you know how many calories you need to take, and now it gets into the point of figuring out what the macronutrients need to be. So when you take your macronutrients, there's so many different formulas out there for figuring out which one is correct for you. It's, like I said, guys, it's trial and error. I'm going to go over the one that I have seen work for me a lot of the times, and a lot of other people I know. So for protein intake, one thing I'm going to let you guys know too, 1 gram of protein and 1 gram of carb are both worth 4 calories. And then 1 gram of fat is equivalent to 9 calories. This will kind of come in play a little bit when I talk to you more about it. So formulas I've read have kind of said that you need about 0.8 grams of protein per body pound a day, up to 2 grams per body pound a day. I like to eat a lot of chicken, I like to eat a lot of beef, so I kind of keep mine a little bit higher. I keep mine probably about 1.2, 1.3 grams per day, but let's just go with a baseline 1 gram per body pound per day. And let's say that with me at about 185 pounds. So at 185 pounds, 185 grams of protein is what I'll be intaking in a day. So let's say I'm at a 2,700 calorie deficit, so 2,700 calorie maintenance. So subtract the 185 times 4 to give me how many calories. So 740 calories are going to be coming from that from protein. So 2,700 subtracted by 740 leaves me with 1,960 calories remaining. Now, what you're also going to do is take with fat, you're about 25% of your calories are going to come from fat. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the base number that your metabolic rate was at, your base maintenance level, and divide that by 4, and that will give you how many calories you need to take in with fat. So for instance, for me, let's see if my calculator will operate. There we go. So 2,700 divided by 4 puts me at 675 calories from fat. Now you divide that by 9, which is how many calories are in per gram, leaves me with 75. So 75 grams of my diet, 75 grams of fat for my diet will be about right. And then what you do with the remaining calories that you have left is that's what you're going to find for your carb intake. So let's say here, for 2,700 calories, subtract the 185, the 740, the 740 with that, leaves me with 1,960, subtract the 675 calories from fat, leaves me with 1,285 calories to use for carbs. Now, like I said before, every carb is equivalent to 4 calories, so you divide that by 4, and you're left with 321 carbs a day. So basically on a day-to-day basis, I would be eating 185 grams of protein, 321 grams of carbs, and then 75 grams of fat. Now it kind of gives me my maintenance. That's a good balance for an overall diet. Now with that, that's where meal tracking comes in. So now you have found your caloric intake, you know how many calories you need to take, you know how many proteins, how many carbs, how much fat you need to intake in a day. Now you start tracking your food. So with tracking, you can do it any sort of way. You can use it in a notebook, but one of the best ways and easiest ways I've noticed is using the app called MyFitnessPal. MyFitnessPal is a food tracking app, and it is fantastic. It has one of the biggest databases inside it in order to have all the sorts of different food that it carries. Basically every food that you know or have ever tried is going to be in that thing. So it's great because people, if you put in a food, everyone else in the world can utilize it. So, and also what's awesome too is you can scan barcodes. If you scan a barcode on the app, then you automatically right there, it pulls up it on the app, and it automatically downloads it for you, and there you go, you just track your food. So on a day-to-day basis, you need to start tracking your food, kind of figure out your maintenance calories, make sure you're putting in the correct amount of protein, amount of carbs, amount of fat on a day-to-day basis, and there you go. Now you've figured out how to maintain your weight, put on weight, or lose weight at a pretty solid rate. Now, with that being said, you can start incorporating your own foods that you love. So say if you have, at the end of the night, after you've eaten your healthy meals of the day, and you have 80 grams of carbs left, a couple grams of protein, a couple grams of fat, wow, there you go. You can just add in a little bit of ice cream for you. You add it in a couple Oreos. It works. That's how you can start adding in those foods. Now, you don't want all of your calories and all of your macronutrients to come from junk food. You want to come from nutrient-dense foods. So you still want to add in those chickens, those lean beefs, those lean, the good fats, the good carbs, everything you want to incorporate into a healthy diet. You still want to incorporate, but now you can also add in those extra foods that you do love to make it a lot easier. Adding in those foods makes dieting significantly better. There's no good way of dieting otherwise, and that makes it so much easier to be able to enjoy your diet and make it as stress-free as possible. Now, one thing that I have noticed with the helpful tip is make sure the foods that you are adding into your diet aren't foods that you are obsessed or addicted to. For instance, with me, Oreos can kind of be a problem for me. I don't just eat 3 or 4, I end up eating the entire container. So I kind of keep Oreos at a bare minimum with my diet. I don't eat them that often. When I do, it is a treat for me, so it's one of those things where I want to splurge a little bit, then I'll go out and eat some Oreos. Otherwise, I kind of avoid them as much as I can. So for someone like you, if you're addicted to ice cream or love ice cream too much, and you don't think you can control yourself, try to avoid that particular food. Substitute it with something else. But yeah, that's one of my helpful tips with that. Basically, that's how you do it. That's how you find your caloric intake. That's how you lose weight. That's how you gain weight. It's that easy, guys. It's not difficult to do. So use the formulas I've given to you. Use the app, MyFitnessPal. If you have any other questions or anything, please comment below. I'll try to get back to you as easily as I can. Give me a thumbs up if my information was helpful for you. Hit the subscribe, because I promise there'll be more content later on this week. Probably one more video this week, and then some more content here to come. So yeah, guys, take it easy. Hope it's helped you, and have a good day.